Okay, now I'll call the meeting to order.
Thank you.
And roll call
Gary Mertig,
here.
Rick Corpola.
Here.
Michael Berlin.
Here.
William Metzinger.
Here.
Martin Vitek. Here.
Okay, we need a motion to approve the agenda.
So move. I will second it.
Marty's made the motion. Bill seconded. Any questions? All those in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Thanks, Mike.
We need a motion to approve the minutes of October 18th, 2021 meeting minutes.
So move.
Motion by Bill,
I'll second it.
second by Rick.
Yeah.
Any questions on the minutes?
Oh,
Additions, deletions, corrections? All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Rick.
Public comment? Do we have anybody online?
We have 1-681-0672 that I don't know who that would be.
Okay,
I didn't have anyone contact me about doing public comment.
okay.
This is Supervisor Rich Huber. That's the number 0672.
Hi, Rick.
Hi.
Do you have any comments? Public comments?
No, not really. I see our person that we got for our finance now gave the highway department a very good compliment, so that's good.
Good.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, Thank you. Okay. Commissioner report.
All right. Employees. We did recently have one resignation. Brad Hanson from Glidden resigned. Friday was his last day of work. So I did contact Dan and he talked to the chair to get permission to hire that again. So we are in the process of advertising for that. Hopefully we can find somebody. Just like to put it out there, you know, Brad, he's been an employee for 2 or 3 years, a good employee, was happy with his work. But the health insurance changes, he decided to move on down the road. So just to make you aware of that, what is happening. So
What do you think he'll find out there?
he's buying a log truck,
He's buying a what?
a logging truck.
We might want to come to a forestry meeting.
Yeah.
Here's the situation to it, and the employees need to know this. There's no better retirement, and a young employee, somebody who's only been in the system a few years, doesn't care, doesn't get the idea. But as a member of the Wisconsin retirement system, there's no better retirement anywhere.
Sure.
So I don't ever want to hear employees who say we don't have things, because your mind hurts here, but the retirement is as good as it gets. I mean, there's nothing better. So good, thank you.
So yeah, hopefully we get some. As of yet, I've only seen one application. We're open, have it open till Friday right now. We'll see if we have to, we'll extend it.
Did he have to give a couple weeks notice?
He did.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I had seen it a couple weeks ago or a week ago at least.
Yes, he did give 2 weeks notice. So yeah, Friday was his last day. So that's all for employees. So work schedule, you know, obviously we've been plowing snow as needed. We've been brushing. We did a lot of brushing on US 2 and on 13. We had to stop. We kind of hit the end of our DOT budget. They have a new financial person up in Superior. We always look at the budget often, but in September we reviewed it and it looked like we had a lot of money to spend yet. So we shouldered 13, everything south of Mellon almost. And shouldering is very expensive. It's about 18 to 20,000 a day. So we spent a lot of money. Well, then she figured out that she made a mistake by $100,000. So we basically cut off everything extra. We're still obviously plowing and taking care of potholes and whatever we have to, but brushing is considered an extra, so that got put on hold. If we don't get a lot of more snow by the end of the year, we'll probably start up again after the first of the year, but as of now, we're.
Now, where you go in with that chipper and you chip in amongst the bigger trees, the point later on would be to go back and cut those trees down.
Correct,
Okay,
yes.
because people who have seen what's going on are complimenting it
Yeah.
again.
So we want to keep going, but like I
Right.
say, we run into a wall on the budget, so we did move the brushers there down on GG, working
Okay, geez.
pretty much have everything we can
Beat us
get
up.
on GG besides cutting the big trees. We'll be going back there this winter to cut big trees like. we
Rick, you
in the
have to
past.
have one.
I love one, but I can't.
You shouldn't either.
So yeah, that's besides snow plowing and brushing. No, thank you, right now. You know, still working on trucks. We do our mechanic had his first child here a week and a half ago, probably. So he's kind of on leave right now for, hopefully he'll be back by the end of the week. He's gonna come back. And so we've been having other guys fill in the shop as we can fit them.
Question for you. You know, when you, in Peaksville there, when you went along 13 and logged it, and now the popple's starting to grow up, did you cut that or no?
We didn't this year,
Okay,
but last year we did a lot of brushing through there. So that's
okay,
all
but the
pretty
popple's
decent.
starting to come up again. So then now when you brush something, is there a plan to go ahead and brush it again in like 2 years or something?
So
What's the,
we're hoping 3 to 4 year rotation on everything. That's our game plan. Obviously, it's gonna be driven by our budgets, what we have, but that's what we are shooting for. I'm gonna talk a little bit farther down on the number 9 about that on the county highways, but yeah. So yeah, besides a little patching and brushing and you know, if we don't get a lot of snow, it's ideal for cutting brush right now. So we will be cutting with machines by hand always that we can.
Supposed to rain.
Yeah. it's supposed to rain.
Yeah.
I noticed that the ground just froze underneath pretty good too.
Okay,
Not too far, but.
Get around, yeah.
it's a little on the surface anyway.
if we don't get much snow, are we saving money or are we actually, is it costing us money because we're not getting the?
It's a hard to say for sure because, you know, we have a lot of dollars in snowplows sitting out there. So if they're sitting, we're not charging the state for them. We're not getting that revenue to pay for them trucks. So, but if they're not plowing, we're generally out doing something else. So hopefully, you know, still bringing in the revenue.
Good.
We're as far as, you know, we have a $1 million contract, basically 980,000 with the DOT every year, and we've been doing a very good job of making sure we spend all that money. This year we're gonna go over budget, probably 100,000, but
You are.
they pay the bill, so that's fine.
Okay,
Any questions on work schedule?
Quite a bit of stuff up there.
Yeah. 2021 construction, obviously all that is complete for the year. GGN, can talk a little bit about 22. My intention is to pave about 5 miles on GG from Mineral Lake south. It gets about a mile north of Spider Lake Road. Hopefully, you know, with our we were able to raise our improvement fund to $820 a year. Thank you guys for that, for on the budget. That'll help. And then I have through the LRIP-S program, we have about 280,000, I think it is. And then we have through the LRIP, the regular LRIP program, we have 277, approximately $77,000 allocations coming that we're going to put toward that section. Like I say, I hope to do 5 years. The last month now, they're talking 30% increase in asphalt prices for next year. So that could affect, maybe we'll have to shorten that section. Obviously, if it's gonna be 30% higher, we're not gonna have the budget to pay for it. We're gonna have to shorten that section up.
On GG, are they going to groove that and pick it up and then resurface it, or what's the plan? Is that what they usually do, or?
So our intention is to grind off 1 inch and add 2 new inches. But if you remember a while back, we had talked about adding 3 foot on each side of paved shoulder for bicycle accommodations. And then you guys are also interested in maybe being able to open it up for ATV travel at that time if we get a wider shoulder. So our intention is to pave that wider width. I also have 2 grants submitted for GG, one from Mineral Lake North to Mellon. I have a STP that's through the state. I think it's federal money, but it's state does the grant surface transportation program. They have shown some interest in that. They have
Really?
asked some questions and got some traffic data and crash data together for it. So I'm taking that as a positive sign that maybe we'll get funding for that. And then I just submitted a FLAP grant, Federal Land Access Program, from everything from that point that we're going to pave next year south to Clam Lake to County M. Hopefully, we submitted 2 years ago on that. We didn't get it. I think that's going to put us up a little better standing, and we should have hopefully a good chance of getting that. So I did get a letter of support from the Forest Service on that also. So, and they looked over the application and were happy with. They said it looked.
If any
very
of
good.
these groups, the state or the federal, would ever monitor traffic, that is the most trafficked road in the world, because so many people use it as a gateway to get either to Michigan
Yes.
or Minnesota.
Yeah.
And when you look at the plates on those cars going through, they're Minneapolis, they're Michigan,
Yep.
that is heavily traveled.
And this idea of going to 3 foot each way for a paved shoulder is going to help us. That's what the state is like. Hey, this has crash data to support it. They looked at like 4 years. There's runoff roads. There was actually one fatality in that section, and they're like, you don't like to see a fatality, but they're like, hey, we got a fatality. That kind of brings helps the scoring to get money. So.
How many fatalities were in National County this year so far?
I guess I don't have that off the top of my head.
Is there federal money to come in? I know there's different money here and there, but I was wondering if you got any money of the $1 trillion.
So none of that has been put out yet.
Oh.
We're hoping, from what I've been told, there should be 200 million per year more in the local programs in Wisconsin for 5 years.
Oh.
So nobody's said yet how that's going to be allocated out. Is it through LRIP? Is it through SDP? Is it through some other mechanism? We haven't got any information yet.
Sounds good. That's
It
all I
sounds
can
good.
say.
Yeah, it sounds very good.
No.
It's not 200 more. I don't know what the original amount is, but it's 200 million more per year for local roads.
It is a nice number.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's a big number.
So yeah, hopefully, we'll talk a little bit about that on number 7 again too.
Okay.
So that's all I have for reports. If there's any questions, I guess.
Okay. Otherwise, we can go to 6, County H FEMA grant.
So if you remember, there was a FEMA grant available. We had put an application in a year ago. It was you guys kind of left it up to me. Finance didn't want to allocate extra money for, our percentage part of that. I kicked it around, Clark and I, and we decided to put in an application for that. We did not get it. So that's on County H for riprap, better riprap longer. Well, now the state came back, Wisconsin Emergency Management came back in November and said the state gets a percentage of funds that now they get to give out. And instead of us having to pay 25%, if we would get this new one, we only have to pay 12.5% because the state pays 12.5.
Can't
So,
go wrong.
And they're very interested in this application. So they're wondering if we want to reapply through this new, new program basically. And I told them, yes, I am. It needs to be full county board approval, and the chair has to sign off on the application. So I just wanted to basically bring it to you guys today. It's going to full county board tomorrow. But, I would appreciate your support at full county board. If you guys want to do some kind of a resolution of support today, that would be fine too.
Is that the section 404
It
hazardous
is.
Migration?
Mitigation, yes.
Okay,
Yep. So that is on full county board tomorrow.
yeah. I see.
Whatever you guys want to do. I mean,
I think we should sign it.
So what does this actually, this is for Madeline Island?
it's for Madeline Island. It's a $1 million project. This feds would pay 75%. The state would pay 12.5. Ashen County would pay 12.5. And, at that number, I would be willing to not to go to finance or the board for more money. We would take it out of our regular, improvement fund dollars that we get. It wouldn't be in 22, it'd probably be 23.
Whereabouts is this project located?
So where County H, Big Bay Road,
Yeah.
goes out along the lake. It kind of comes close in multiple spots. So it'd be in them areas, it would be multiple areas. Some of that we went through. Emmer did a big project. You remember a couple years ago, he spent about 500,000. The next year we did another 80,000 to kind of to profit up. So some of that was put in at like 6 feet. I'd like to build that up to maybe 10 feet because the problem is it's kind of washing behind it at times when we get a big storm.
So is the water low or high?
Right now, it's low. I mean, as of right now, we're fine. But this
Right.
would be, if the Watt Lake comes back up, then we'd be protected. So it would add some height to some of the existing riprap, but then also make it longer in places where it's too short yet.
Is that one of them, the curve by Arnie's house up there?
No, it's not that section. It's the farther one out,
Okay.
out past the the township park out there.
Okay.
Oh, that section by Arnie's that's doing pretty good. We've done a lot of work on that in the last few years, and we haven't had any issues now for a bit.
Do we have, how are we maintaining the roads there? Do we have an employee? Do we pay part of does the county pay part of the town's worker there? Is that what the deal is? Or
So we just pay them time and material.
to do our county roads? there?
Yes, they plow them. Sometimes they mow them, sometimes we do. It just kind of depends on the year, how we have time or they have time. They will cut any trees that fall. We go out and take care of the sign maintenance. They might, if one gets knocked over by a car or a snowplow, they'll put it back up, but
So, but we give the county gives the town so much for that employee.
we pay time and material. They bill us for actual hours.
Now, being that it's already on the county agenda for tomorrow, do we need a motion from here or?
I
we're
would
all-
like to make that motion
Okay,
because the county board needs to see that we're behind this.
yeah.
So by having a motion,
Okay.
that would attest that we are behind this.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mike, seconded by Rick.
Support this.
Supporting that County H FEMA grant.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Opposed? Then you'll get that copies
Yeah,
to
Yep.
Dan or.
yeah, we can get them to Dan this afternoon.
So what is the actual figure, or don't we know yet?
So the project would have to go into design if we get it, it have to be engineered. So,
So
It
it
will
would
be
be
engineered.
75% of whatever it is.
well, it's the grant is being written for $1 million, so we will instruct the engineering firm to engineer us $1 million project. That's what we want.
Big rocks.
Bigger.
Big rocks and butternut.
Yeah, if you had all the rocks and butternut. All right.
I'm sure somebody will give them to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that one farmer out on Creamery, he has plenty.
Yeah. Okay, so we're good on that one?
Yes.
Okay, then 7 is shovel-ready projects.
So, just to update, we had talked about the shovel-ready project. We had authorized, we had 3 roads done, some preliminary engineering done, and that is complete. We have a piece of, let's see, County F through town in Butternut, County GG through town in Mellon, and then County Highway E. So we have them, the preliminary work is done up to like 60%. There was talk at the last meeting, I don't know if you remember, Mike had brought it up, wondering if we should do more. And I've been thinking about this, and I don't think we should at this time. This is my opinion. This federal money, if it comes, depending on how it comes, if it comes through like the STP program, the state hires that engineer anyway, and it has to go through their process. So I don't want to spend money that we have to spend money later to redo it again. We have them 3 projects, and we have a list of other projects that could get funding, that we will look for funding for when the time comes, but I don't want to get too far out, have too much engineered, and then the state or the feds not accepting that engineering, basically. So,
Well, the thing is, or my thought was that if we're looking at section 220 million for the next X years, much like what you're saying, do we really want to put the cart before the horse, or
yeah,
do we want to be held the bag?
yeah,
And okay, we got money invested, and
mhm,
gee, we really didn't have to do that.
yeah,
But then in the second, or I'm gonna take another look at this, by not having it done,
yep.
what if they come out and say shovel-ready projects, much like here?
I
We're
know.
holding a
it's
bag like everybody else. So,
Yeah.
okay, now we're looking for engineers and their time, and
But
and
when
this year took a little bit longer than I expected,
mhm.
a little bit longer than they forecasted that it was gonna take.
Well, they had said by October, which I pretty much by the end of October, I had the plans in hand. So,
Okay, well,
when you say 220 million additional dollars, that's not to Ashland County.
No,
that's
no.
the whole state.
That's
The whole
total.
state.
Yes,
Yeah,
statewide,
so
yes.
so
Ashland,
well, my point is, it's gonna be competitive no matter what it
it
is.
is, yes.
And if we've got something there shovel ready and, to go, that's only gonna put us 1 peg up or so.
Correct.
So, working in roads as I have with the BI for all those years, that's kind of,
Yeah,
when I went down to Albuquerque in September, year-end funding, Leroy Gishi from DC had come on. Well, here we are again, guys. Anybody got any plans on the shelf?
mhm,
Anybody besides Mike?
yep,
And well, that's kind of my forte. Really.
yeah,
I'd like to be prepared,
mhm,
which is the old Boy Scout motto, of course.
yes.
But if you're the
Yeah, I
captain
mean,
of the
it's
ship here,
it's a fine line
Hmm.
there, I mean, like I said, we have the 3. Should we hold off on there for now? And, I'm thinking a lot of it's gonna come through that STP. That's just my
Gut feeling.
gut feeling right now.
Mhm.
They won't say, I'd love it if they come through LRIP. If it came through LRIP, we don't need engineering. Because I can do that. I mean, like the GG project next year, we have LRIP funding on it. I can do all that. That's not a problem. It doesn't have to be engineered with a stamp and, that I can put together the specs and do that just fine. How is it gonna come? Nobody's saying anything yet. So,
I really am glad that Mike is on this committee. Because Mike has got a lot of experience, and I'm really glad that you're on this committee. I just, want to say that because rather than put somebody on that doesn't have a clue, you got somebody that does have a clue,
Right.
and I just,
As my position on county board, I made mention to Dick and Clark and Dan. How can the county best use me?
mhm,
How can I step up to the plate and offer some of what I have in my pack sack right there?
sure.
We all bring something to the table,
Mhm.
and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
No, thank you. I'm just saying, I think we have a very good committee that's here right now. And we're gonna miss
I'm
some.
leaving.
I think she's adamant about that.
That's what your wife told me.
I know. She said,
Yeah.
So I mean, you guys, if you want to talk about it or think about it, my opinion is to kind of hang tight right now, but if I'm.
But you
open to
got 3
discussion.
projects.
We do have 3 ready to go.
Okay.
Well, and we all know too, there's gonna be so much money. We don't know what that amount is, and there's gonna be huge competition to get these projects done within that period of years,
Yes.
because everybody's gonna want the contractor to come to theirs first. And we are gonna have, that's why I think prices are gonna go up too.
Well,
Because if you're an asphalt layer and you got 15 people after you because everybody wants their job done,
Right.
we're
Have
gonna.
we submitted these 3 before?
we have.
These
not.
are all new.
It's all new. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the prices are gonna go up. If you have some million sitting somewhere, buy a gravel pit and an asphalt plant because
I
there's
wish
gonna
I
be
could do
money.
it.
There's going to be money available.
I wish I could do it.
Well, and if we keep track, because if we meet, 2 months from now or whenever we meet again, we're still not too late to start
Yeah,
adding
we
stuff.
can talk about it again. There's road school coming up in January. Hopefully, maybe there'll be new information by then,
Is there something that really needs to be done that's out there, or is nothing really pressing?
GG is our worst stretch right now, and we have a plan for it. Hopefully, 2 of them are up for. We don't know yet, but I have a feeling we have a good chance for both of them.
So our priority is GG.
Priority is GG right now. Yep.
Would it be a solid line to put an RFP out on it?
No,
To
we
try
don't.
to capitalize on some of these current prices rather than wait for a higher price?
So GG, if say we get the flap grant, that's total federal. It'll have to go through their whole process, the QBS process of getting the consultant engineer and the whole, and it's all, that money is also built into that contract, so that will help pay for them also.
I think you all understand what I'm trying to put the cart before the horse here
Yeah.
and get ahead of this price game.
Mhm.
Because that's pretty much how to look. It's a pricing game.
It is, but
And those guys have already got your bids out on asphalt for next year.
They do.
For AC cement.
Yep.
And stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, I didn't look at the prices of it, the section of 13 from Mellon South is bid out already for next year. I mean, that bid in November. So they have a contract.
we got that sitting in the wings.
So are they going to do anything from Mellon to like Morris there?
Yeah.
Is that in the works?
That's next spring.
That's bid out already.
Okay,
There's a
that's bid
contract
out.
already. on that.
Okay,
It was supposed to have been done this year, but that got pushed back.
that is just a horrible
Oh,
stretch.
yeah.
God.
If anybody has any pull at the state, Highway 169
Yeah,
is not scheduled for a project until 2025. That's the worst road in the county, between county, state, any kind of road, and it's really, really hard on our plow truck. It's a terrible road. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think ahead.
Mhm.
And that's what they frowned at me when I worked with the Bureau.
Yeah,
When I was acting agency engineer over there and stuff like that. I was always 2 jumps ahead, almost like playing chess.
yes.
I said, this is coming, it's gonna be there.
Mhm.
We're the government, we're funded by federal highway through the BIA, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
We don't have to go through the state and,
Yes.
the funding couldn't be more secure.
Mhm.
And then like when I went down to Albuquerque and there was a couple of times I went down there, anybody else got shelves on the project on the
Yeah.
shelf? I look around the room, besides Mike, the second meeting, beside Mike here,
Yeah.
where's me? I surprised them with about 3 projects.
Okay.
But what the heck, that was free money because
Yeah,
that was money other tribes couldn't spend, and that
Sure.
was use it or lose it.
Yep.
And they got buku, like Alaska and that whole, they get hundreds of millions of dollars.
sure.
Are you still on the tribal council?
Not at this time.
You could join up.
Not at this time.
Marty?
I was gonna follow up on what Gary was talking about, contractors being backed up. You know, the contractors are gonna need people to drive their machinery.
Yes.
We need to be aware of that.
You know, the problem for like GG, I can't bid that yet. Some of that funding is coming through LRIP-S. I will not get a contract from the state for that until about March. And I cannot bid it before that time, so my hands are tied. I would love to bid it in January, but I can't. I mean,
Well, we do have an engineer's estimate. Right?
yeah, we're fine on that.
Okay.
Yes, yep,
So we have a ballpark.
yeah, yep. Mhm.
Okay. So we'll keep talking about it each meeting.
Yeah, we can bring that back
Yeah.
for next meeting.
So 8 is Wisconsin County Highway Association's road school.
Just a shout out, this week is the deadline for signing up for road school in January. We have Rick and Dick are both signed up to go. If anybody else is interested, the registration deadline is the 16th. Gary said he's undecided yet.
We'll know tomorrow night.
Just wanted to.
I got a
throw that
note in
out
my calendar to call Wednesday morning.
there.
It probably won't work, but yeah.
Okay,
So that's all I have for that one. Just,
okay.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
okay.
Alternate.
What?
brush-
I have a hard time sitting and going for more than an hour. I can't walk. You know, I drive down to Butternut. I'm just so crippled up that
Really?
yes,
Wow.
yeah, I have a hell of a time. I
Is
just,
that your knees or what?
my back.
Oh, your back.
My
So-
back.
That's not good.
Alternate brush control methods.
So yeah, I wanted to touch base with the committee. Some of the counties around the state are using some spraying methods for some brush control. You can use a product that just does brush, it doesn't do grasses. Where I'm interested in specifically is, we've been cutting in the winter back on GG, you know, with our shear and cutting. And it looks great and it's good. The whips come back in a year or two and they come back thick. The problem is we have all these stumps in there and they're still hard like a brick. And we can't get a piece of equipment in there to mow it because it just tears up tracks, it tears up machines. I just want to check the temperature of the committee, I guess. Should we consider, you know, an alternate means, you know, spraying? I know spraying isn't great. It has its pros and cons, but you know, would it be something to look at, say one time after we cut it to come through and spray it and give them stumps a little more chance to soften up before we can get equipment in there? I don't want to lose it. You know, we've made such good progress on it, but to be able to lose it is just.
The airport has done a lot of that. Yeah. I mean,
We've never talked about it before. I don't know
it's no fun.
at all what people's thoughts are, if I should even think of it or not. I'm looking.
I have bees, so I have red flags going up all over.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah, I get that. That's why I'm just asking. I don't.
Do you need to get anybody's permission to use that?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know. Some of that's through National Forest. If I would have to or not, I don't know.
Well, can you check into that? And
I can. Like I say, I want to talk to you guys. You know,
On
my
GG,
totally know or
there's
look at
very
it. Or,
little private land.
there actually is quite a bit
Well-
through some of that. There's that mining company land.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's no residentials.
There's no
along there.
residential.
There's creeks and streams,
Mhm.
which you'd have to have a phase out. You couldn't get close to those, but I would check with the feds and see what their procedures, because they're the ones who want all the wood cut off and then they leave it lay their
Yeah.
fingers.
Yep.
But, you know,
Yeah, I would prefer to mow it. That's my preferred method, but we can't get into these areas with all these stumps in them. You know, if we could let it set for, you know, say 3 years, gets a little bit of brush started, spray it, and hopefully that gives us another 3 years. After 6 years, I think our stumps would be soft enough that we could go to mowing.
Do they have herbicides that are specific enough to do the kind of brush you're talking about? or
I
not?
believe so. And we had one company give a presentation earlier. They make nozzles. You put it on a truck and you drive along and it'll spray 40 feet. That's
the
it.
power companies using that.
You know, we could easily set up our tanker truck. We have, you know, a 1,800 gallon tank. We could set up with the nozzle as the pumps and do this. It'd be relatively cheap and fast, but it's
Is this a one-time thing or do you spray it every year?
well, what I was hoping is after we cut it, we could spray these sections after 2 to 3 years when the brush comes up and knock it back again, you know, until them stumps have time to soften up and we can deal with them.
Could you ask the feds what they're,
Yeah,
because if they say no, then 90% of that road is out anyways. I mean,
yeah, I mean, there's the other roads I'm not really interested in. That's everything else is pretty well cut to right away. I mean, we try to maintain it out. Most of our roads, we just have 33 feet each way from center. GG, we have more right away. Kind of, and we've had permission from the feds to cut out 40 feet from center line. So that's what we've been doing.
When do you spray? You have to spray it during when the plant is growing actively.
Yeah, it would probably be, you know, May to June, early season growth.
No, not good.
Has this stuff been properly tested so it's not hazardous?
I think so. I mean, you don't even have to have per se the county. A lot of, you know, outfit that sprays private outfits, they have to have like training and certifications. I don't think you have to have it for this.
I think you do.
Well, this guy talked to us and I don't know that the county does, but it's possible.
Yeah.
Oh, is
that
product
I guess I don't know that question, the answer to that question.
I think we should probably at least check into what's been done safety
Sure.
wise, because if we got a massive dump of Roundup out there.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Roundup.
Deal with that.
It would be more specific, just a broadleaf.
Yeah.
I could have
Plants, but-
Northern Clearing come and talk to you about it. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I didn't do much research or don't know much about it. Like I say, I wanted to come to you guys first and see, should I think about it or not think about it, is basically where I'm at.
Yeah.
I think our first question is whether the Forest Service allowed it or not, because if they say no, then it's probably a dead issue for
Yeah.
most of that. But if they
Yep.
say yes, then we'd have to look at it. Like I say, I know they came by our house with a power line company, whoever they hired, and they did that same thing. They had the tanker just drive along the road and the guy with a sprayer sprayed that whole thing.
Mhm.
We had that down in the town of Chippewa where my parents lived, where their place was. And we have a pond. We killed all the trees along the dam outside of the pond, killed them all. All the brush is dead and all the trees on the pond wall, all dead.
See, they're not supposed to be that close to the water. That was the one.
Yeah,
big
but they
thing.
sprayed and everything's dead.
They can't do that.
And yeah, and now who do you go after?
Yeah,
Who do you contact?
That's one of the reasons they have applicators licenses.
yeah.
The question I had was, do we have any surrounding counties that spring?
I don't know about
Douglas?
surrounding. I know Chippewa has been. Some of the other counties down in the central part have been doing quite a lot of it.
Yeah, but that's different soil down there. That's sandy
Possibly,
loam. Up here, where it is heavy clay.
Mhm.
I don't know if we got any sand in Ashland County. Other than what they found in the pits.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you find out from the Forest Service, that'll be the biggest question.
Okay.
And
So I
then we
can
can,
check into that and bring it back to you
Yeah.
guys.
then we,
Would we just try a whole section and just one piece or something, you know, just see how it looks, or would you do a whole big SWAT to?
I mean, yeah,
Make it
right
big.
now I'm just looking at between Clam Lake and Mellon, that section of GG.
Would we get any compensation from the state for doing that?
You know, it's totally county dollars.
Well, you never know. You could, yes.
Well, you never know, yeah. Yep,
Well, we'd save on the back end because we wouldn't have to brush it.
yes.
Right.
It's a front end cost.
Mhm. And it's, you know, we have all the equipment besides the nozzle to buy. So it wouldn't take much to set up equipment wise. It'd just be to buy the product, and I don't know what that costs. So.
oh, next meeting or so, be
Okay,
here, they'll have to go through 20 people to get you an answer. but-
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, if I hear back from them.
now, next meeting date tentatively, because you tentatively have a January meeting that you would or wouldn't, we would have?
I don't have any reason to have one, and
Okay.
also that falls right, our general. I believe that falls during road school week.
Okay, so then in February,
Yeah, February 14th. Be the next date.
I'm gonna be gone, I'm gonna be in Arizona, and I'm gonna be gone from Arizona the 10th to the 19th.
In the Valentine's Day.
What?
That's not good.
yeah. I get all
Well,
my
I'm just
girlfriend's
kind of letting
card.
you know that I'm not gonna be here, if that's when you have it.
I have
So-
that pounded into my brain.
Okay. Okay, so tentatively the 14th, unless we switch it. for-
Yeah, I mean, that'd be. I mean, if you wanna accommodate Bill, you could go for the 7th or the 21st, that would work for me.
Oh, you want to do it? Is the 21st good for everybody? Let's do the 21st.
Okay,
February 21st.
All right.
I like having the meeting in here.
Yeah. And then items for next agenda, just get to Matt or so too.
Yeah, all right. One of the things we didn't cover on this meeting, and I'm not sure if it's addressed, but Mike and Steve has been out here numerous times, and I'd like just to have a little critique of your and Amber's, how that's all going.
okay,
They're everything that I've heard from Mike
Mhm.
at the last meeting, everything was positive.
Mhm.
Things are good out here and all this kind of stuff, so I want to get
yeah.
your
they-
spin on it.
They've been good, and I think from what I've heard, they've been happy with how we're doing things. They had some recommendations to change a few things. I'm not sure exactly where that's at. You know, we were gonna get a dedicated highway account and stuff. I have not heard where did
I
that.
can-
that's at.
I can talk on that. So yeah, we're all set to go with the new changes with adding that Fund 21. Some of those accounts were already set up because they already used it. There was just a few accounts that Mike had emailed to Sue and I to set up, and Sue has them set up. So starting January 1, we'll start using those other accounts, and we will be billing ourselves, as all county through that other fund. So we'll have Fund 21 and Fund 71. And it'll take a little bit in the beginning of the year to get set up because we'll be doing year end to know exactly what to put for starting value as of January 1. But in those first few months, we'll get that all figured out. By the time the audit comes, I know that I think we'll be going pretty good and have all the kinks worked out by then. And the other suggestion they wanted to do is to do a full, like all of our road projects that have been done in the past, doing a more detailed or full detailed depreciation schedule, which had never been done prior to me and was something I always was going to look into. So had a meeting with Mike on the phone with that, and we got that started, and that's also my goal to get done with my year-end stuff here in the beginning of the year. So, but my meetings with them have gone very well. And I definitely don't have any complaints for them. I have nothing but positive conversations, and do, like their ideas. Some of their stuff is stuff that I've been wanting to do. So with their support, it's been, going really easy and good. So.
So in the review that Mike and Steve went through, I believe there was 30 points that he addressed. One of those points was roads, obviously, and the underappraised value of the roads that we have in our system currently. And if I recall, that was going to be addressed with Amber so that we can, with the roads that we've constructed in the last few years, we have numbers to where we can bring that up to speed. At least that's what I was to understand in that review. So, yeah.
I wonder if the GIS person would help with that.
Well, and that's what I think I just kind of maybe didn't cover that or state that clearly, but that is one of the conversations that I had a meeting with Mike about on the phone about a month ago. And I did start that. I have the list of all the projects. And I have, because we have a list of all of our projects that we've done. It just didn't have the total cost depreciation and that stuff. So I am just doing some research on that and I have it started. And it's something that I will have done so that way we have a value of everything, as of January 1, 2022, or actually I might even just have it done as a January 2021, so that we use it for our audit here in 21 audit, and then obviously use it from here on out. So as soon as I get that done, I will show it to you.
This is Mike again. My point is if we were to have these appraisals done sooner than later, that would bring our cost of roads higher, which I'm thinking is going to put us higher when we go out to apply for these projects. I may be wrong. However, I'm in a state scenario now. When I came from the federal scene,
Sure.
and it was not so much over there, but I'm trying to put that application over here with us. So it's important that we have these roads appraised and are valued more in line where they should be, as opposed to devalued, as was indicated. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
It might be something we can use. I'm just trying to think in the applications. I haven't seen it, but maybe in when a guy is writing about them, you could put, where you're at in a depreciation schedule, or, put some of them numbers into them applications at that point.
Thank you.
I don't know if Dan has anything to add from the consultants. From my feedback, it's been positive.
I think Amber's been doing a great job with them. She's been extremely enthusiastic. So thank you again, Amber.
Mhm.
She even volunteered to be a guinea pig for setting up all these receivables. So Amber's been wonderful on this, and Matt's been very helpful too. I think we're starting to see buy-in from the staff on a lot of the changes, and I think it's going to be moving forward rather very well.
Thank you.
We're just talking now. So like the highway department, they did get this $500 from the COVID, like a bonus or
Yes.
back pay. Everybody that got that.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes, we did.
yep.
Yeah, Bill, every department got that.
Okay, but yeah, I'm just, that has been dispersed already.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was done back in
Well back.
October, I think.
Mhm.
I didn't see it on my check, Dan.
That was a charitable donation.
I'll talk to Sue about that.
The decimal point moved over. Okay, anything else? Otherwise, we need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mike, second.
I'll second it.
Second by Rick. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank you.
Gonna stop the recording, Amber?